crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Dog dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Off the mirrors, a pit, quick, grid from ear to ear. Craving and rating the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is, what is today? Friday. Friday, June 6th. And it's going to be okay. I was a little fired up after the game last night, and then as I thought about it, I calmed down. And why? Because it was like, it's one game. Just like in the Denver series. It's one game. Number two, I was worried about this, and I've talked about this on the show, how I was worried that what happened was going to happen. Okay? I was worried that we had sat for 7 days, and remember, right after we beat Minnesota, I was wanting, oh, wait, hold on, I'm sorry about this. I still have my do-rag on for some unknown reason. I don't know what the hell that was about. But anyway, after the Denver series, I was worried about this very thing. And because after we won, I wanted them to beat New York the next day, because that would have been 6 days rest for them, 7 days rest for us. Instead, they got to play 2 days later, and they were on 4 days rest, I guess, or whatever. 3 days. What was it? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 4 days rest. So I was a little worried about that they would be in the groove still, kinda, and we would be where we were. You look at the numbers of what we did, and you look at what happened, and it's going to be okay. So that was that. Third thing, those of us who went to the first series, the first time we were in the NBA Finals, what did we learn? Remember, we beat them the very first game, and the commander and I, we were laughing about it because we knew they were going, oh yeah, we're going to win this game. We knew within the first few minutes that we were going to win the game because of what happened. Last night was a little different. But we gave them that game last night, and it's okay. For us to shoot what we shot, and for us to only lose by one, considering what we shot, and of course Halliburton does what Halliburton does, it's okay. It's one game. Because for us to play as bad as we did, for them to shoot 50%, for them to stay around, for our coach to do what he does, he's going to do what he does, and we knew he was going to be outcoached, and that all happened. But all that being said, let's go back to this one simple thing. Hey, Angel, what's going on? Let's go back to this one simple fact. The first time, and I said this last night, and I did a reel about this very subject. We lost game one, as I was talking about. We lost game one. We won four. We won game one, lost 4 in a row. How about we lose this time and win 4 in a row? How about let's reverse the past? How about let's redo history of what happened before? How about let's try that? Because we already won, and we lost 4 in a row. Now we're losing, so I'm okay with it. I'm really not that upset about it. I mean, I was pretty much last night, and then the more I took time to think about it, the more I realized that it's okay, and I'm fine with it. And by the way, I want to thank my girl Jasmine. She took care of my hair today. I want to thank her for taking care of me today. I had to go into her salon and get my braids done, and she does a fantastic job, and she's great. And so anyway, I'll give you her information because we're going to go do one of our live stream episodes from her location soon. But anyway, that being said, it's okay to me. And that's how I'm going to look at this past game and what happened. Okay, I'm going to look at it from the fact that we got beat. Well, let me see. We didn't get beat. We lost the game. We lost the game. We didn't get beat. We lost the game. It's a game we should have won. But there were some sequences of things that happened that have been happening that it sets us up for failure for the opportunity to lose. And yes, Angel, that game was insane. And it was because of the simple fact that we were in control. They led for the last half second of the game. They were behind the whole game except for the last half second, which they won. Okay? So, that being said, they shot 40-something% from the field from three. We shot 39% from the game at home. Rusty, like I thought we were going to be. So, my view today and my view on last night on After the Storm, our OKC live stream post-game show, is this. I'm okay with us getting beat. Nimhard and Naismith gave Shea work. Or Neesmith. SGA was fine. Okay? And I'm going to go into that, Angel, what I thought happened in the fourth quarter. But SGA was giving them the business, bro. He was giving them the business. And then he quit shooting. And then he got a shot blocked by Pascal Siakam. And here's my thing. When the game went small, and then we responded by going small, I don't believe we had the correct small lineup. Because our best small lineup is SGA when we do small. It's SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, and K-Rich. Or it's SGA, J-Dub, Caruso, Dort, and K-Rich. Not Kaysen. K-Rich needs to be at the 5 because we were talking about there was a play last night that SJ was underneath the basket trying to box out Siakam, and Siakam just tossed him aside. Because if that's K-Rich, that doesn't happen. If that's J-Dub, maybe or maybe not, but J-Dub is not really, that's not what he does. He's a defensive, he's a wing guy, he's not really inside presence. So to me, it's the matchup of small versus small lineups, which he went to, and then Dagnall responded. But I think he responded with the wrong 5. And I think that it should have been K-Rich instead of Kaysen. But, of course, he's trying to give Kaysen those minutes in that fearsome out front when you go Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, Kaysen, Caruso. Kaysen, excuse me. So, to me, that's the mess up. And then also, there's no reason why you can still not play Chet in that instance. But Chet wasn't on his game. Neither was J-Dub. And I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. Here's the issue. Coach Dagnall, here is your issue. Sam Presti, here's the issue. If you will just try this, because you did this one time, and we beat Minnesota, game 1. Take J-Dub out the 5-minute, 4-minute mark of the first and third quarter. Bring SGA in at the 7-minute mark, whenever that timeout is, 6, whatever it is. Bring him in at that mark. Take J-Dub out for 3 to 4 minutes. Bring him back in the second and fourth quarters. You won't get beat. Last night, to me, the turning point was, and then I have this in my notes, and we were talking about on the show last night, but it's in my notes. We went up 15. My note said, defense set us up, SGA closed the door. And my guy Mark Long of SRB's favorite quote is this. He is 2 minutes too long. That's Dagnall. He is 2 minutes too long. He played A.J. Mitchell 2 minutes too long. He played Wiggins 2 minutes too long. He played Isaiah Joe 2 to 4 minutes too long. That's who he is. He doesn't understand the intricacies. He doesn't get the flow of the game. As my friend Jennifer says, he doesn't know. He can't read the room. And for those of you all who have friends who can't read a room, they can walk in a room, they have no idea who the hell's what's going on in that room. They have no idea because they don't know how to read it. That's him. He doesn't have an understanding of the game. These are things that he has a problem with. And as I said the other day, and I said, I believe yesterday on the show, I said, listen, here's the issue. If you think Rick Carlisle is not going to call the other Western Conference coaches and go, "Hey, where do you beat Dagnall? You beat him early in the fourth quarter. When there's that time to make a run, that's when you beat him because that little 2-minute window when we make a run and they call timeout, he doesn't adjust. He doesn't bring SJ in. What he does, if you'd have brought SJ in up 15, take J-Dub out, bring SJ in at that point, then they come back out of the timeout, we're going to run him out the gym. But that's not what he did. That's not what he does. Then he waits until the other team starts making a run. Then he calls time and he brings SJ in. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't because he is too analytical. He doesn't have a feel for the game. He just doesn't. And I've been saying this for 5 years. He just doesn't. And it's okay because that's his weakness. And then you don't have anybody on the coaching staff who will say, Coach, we need to do this. At OSU, we had the same former coach. That was his issue. I forget what game it was. The commander and I were sitting there watching the game, and we go on a run, or we had our second team in there. We go on a run, and we were down 15, 16, get it down to 8. They called, or 10, or whatever it was. They called timeout, felt the run coming. The run came. They called timeout to stop the run. Come back out. They have a different lineup. Guess what we did? Same lineup. Guess what happened last night? Same lineup. They called timeout, switch lineups. We come at the same line. We switch one guy out. Bring Dort in. What the hell are you doing? Your best player should be on the court. And as I said last night on the show and after the storm, that was the determining factor because my next note said 2 minutes too long. I said, here's the run. You defense open the door. Defense set us up. SGA closed the door. And my next note said 2 minutes too long. My next statement in my notes, 2 minutes too long. Because that's who he is. He doesn't get it. He doesn't. And he doesn't have anybody on his bench who's going to help him. It is what it is. That being said, SGA, my problem with him is this. Bro, stop effing passing the ball. You're scoring in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden you stop. What are you doing? Keep shooting. And that's what I don't like about this coach, and I don't get from Sam Presti either. I understand your philosophy about this being a team, wanting to be a team, and not one person reliable. I get that. But we're trying to win a chip. And right now, your team is, if SJ scores 3-4 times in a row, it takes the heart out of the opposing team because they know, oh, shit, he's on a roll. And then it makes the rest of our team go, I don't have to make a play. It's not dependent on me making a play. That is the recipe for the Thunder. And I don't know how the hell you don't see it. I just don't. I understand you're going to have to pay him 70-something. I get all that. I just don't understand how you don't see it. I don't. He needs to score. And if he gets in that mode where he's running, if he scores 4 times in a row, how many times has J-Dub shot 4 or 5 times in a row? And you don't do a damn thing, don't say anything to him. He might make 1 out of 4. You don't say anything to him. Or SJ is going to go 3 for 4. Or 4 for 4. Let him, or 2 for 4 if he's going to go 2 for 4. But he's going to go 3 for 4, 4 for 4. And when he's gone 2 for 2, and then all of a sudden he don't shoot again, and then the one time he goes in, he shoots a layup. Why? Because Pascal Siakam was down low instead of outside. And I can promise you, that's why it's about K-Rich being in the game at that particular point. It's lineups, 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 lineups. His weaknesses are the things that I have always said his weaknesses are. And I've always said his weaknesses are going to come back and bite us. I've said it over and over and over. Because it is what it is. Now, do I want us to win? I said we can win in spite of his differences. Because if SJ makes that 3, or makes that bucket and we go up 3, then they're forced to shoot a 3, which is a completely different thing. But all they need is a bucket. But again, that's on SGA. Bro, stay in the game, stay in the flow. You can't stop pass to J-Dub, he misses. Pass to Kaysen, he misses. Pass to somebody else, he missed. Chet, or who else was it? Caruso, he missed. Quit passing the damn pass the door. Shoot the ball. You go score at the end of games. You have the ball in your hands. You go score. Score 3 in a row, 4 in a row. When that happens, the opposing team is going to take the heart out of them, and our team, we're going to close the door on them. It just does. I've seen it over and over and over. Last year in the Dallas series, game 4, what'd you score, 5 times in a row? 4 or 5 times in a row, took the heart right out of Dallas. In Dallas. I was at the game. These are the things that make the difference, but what the Thunder can and can't do. It's what he does. It just does. So I put that on him. But once again, this all starts with the fact that we sat out 7 days. I talked about it the very next day on the show. I talked on the Unpopular Hour on our daily show. I talked about it that night after we beat Minnesota in Game 5. Here's my worry. That's 7 days. Here's my other worry. We need the Indiana Pacers to win Game 5 in New York. They did not. After they played again, the next day on the show, after they won Game 6, this is what worries me. They don't have enough time. I think this is Monday or whatever. That worried me. But remember, here's what their stats were. Okay, here are the stats in the game last night. So this will help you understand what I'm saying, okay? The Pacers, 18 for 39. That's 48%, I think, from 3 or something. We're 11 of 30. We shot 39%. They shot 47. They out-rebounded us by 17. Let me re-say that. 17. Pips, points in the paint. We scored them in the paint, as we always do, by 12. 25 turnovers they had, and we lost. We normally beat teams by 25 or 30 when they have 25 points, or when they have 25 turnovers. But the reason why we didn't is that number in field goal, 39.8%. That's where you lose the game. But what was I worried about? Us having so much time off. I was worried about that one simple thing, because us having so much time off was going to affect how we played. And it made me nervous. And it came back to haunt us. And I was worried about it, and it came back. So when you look at what the Thunder are capable of, when you look at what the Thunder can and can't do, these are the issues that you have to worry about. Bench scoring, 39 to 28. It was pretty close. And then when you look at the overall stats for our team, here's the overall stats right here. Chet, 2 for 9, 6 points in 24 minutes. 6 rebounds, 1 block. And he's just so thin, they just push him around inside the paint. J-Dub, 36 minutes. 17 points, 6 for 19, 1 for 4. He should have played 33, 32, 33 minutes max. That's what he should have played. Once again, 2 minutes, too long. SGA. So there you go, Angel. You talk about gave Shea work, did they? SGA, 38 points, 2 turnovers, 3 steals. So he was giving somebody work. He stole it from Nembhard once. Stole it from Hallie once. So I thought he played decent overall. I just don't like him once he starts scoring. He keeps scoring. Keep going. The more you score, the easier it is for our team to win. 40 minutes. Should have been about 42, 43 minutes. But once again, that's the coach. That's what he does. He's a minutes manager, and it costs us. That's him doing what he's done. Plus, we were talking about last night, he played 11 guys. K. Rich got 1 minute. I think Isaiah Joe should not have had 11 minutes. And Wiggins, he has not been the same player since he had those 40 points, since he scored those points against weak teams. And I said that after the show when he was doing that, I'm like, none of that shit matters. That's against weak teams. You're not going to do that against good teams. He was trying to fade away, shot a bad fadeaway off, trying to go off the glass. Bro, just catch the ball and get in rhythm and shoot threes, please. I was talking to somebody this morning or last night, and that was today. They were talking about Dort. What do you want to know about Dort? You want to keep Dort? I don't want Dort shooting the ball. What the hell are you talking about? Dort could have kept shooting. No, I don't want Dort making more plays. He was like, Dort needs to make plays. No, Dort needs to shoot threes, and that's it, play defense. That's what Dort does. That's what he continues and needs to do. He don't need to try to take people off the dribble. That's not what he's capable of. And the person that was telling me, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You don't want Dort doing that. But defensively, he's a beast. Kaysen, I think Kaysen probably played 5 to 7 minutes too long last night. And I didn't agree with the fact that he started because in our text chain that we have, there's like 4 or 5 of us in this text chain. And one of the guys said that he wasn't going to start. John is the one that said it. That iHeart wasn't starting. I'm like, why aren't we going with double bigs? I don't get that. Why are we changing up? And once again, Dagnall changes up. And then he starts the wrong guy. Why are you starting Kaysen and not Caruso? It's just frustrating to me. iHeart, 17 minutes, 3 for 5. I want him to be a little bit more aggressive. 9 rebounds. He played great with that. But my thing is what iHeart is, dude. When they back all the way off of you, you've got to get to the basket and shoot that floater from the middle. When's the last time you shot a floater from the middle? When's the last time? So, and each one of these guys, I look at it and go, what the hell are you doing? Kaysen, he just played too many. I don't think Kaysen played that great. But once again, game 1. Caruso played okay. Isaiah Joe, to me, and I've said this, since the middle of last year, it was just a frustrating thing to me with him. Wiggins, I've lost pretty much all confidence in him. I did like the fact that A.J. Mitchell started the second quarter, but he played for 4 minutes. I think he should have been after about the third minute. He should have came out, but that was just me. He was playing too long, and the commander even made that statement about him playing too long last night. So those are the things that you look at as a fan, as a person who breaks down the game. Here are the little things that made the difference, and here's each player's weaknesses and what they did and did not do. But at the end of the day, it's just one game. Remember game 3 after we got killed by Minnesota? People going crazy and all these talk shows. I mean, y'all need to shut the hell up. Ain't nothing that's going to happen. Chill out. It's one game. I was at one of my favorite bars. Now, Joe, chill out on the patio. Chill out. It's all right. It's all right. It's one game, guys. And I'm okay with the one game. I'm okay with us losing it, okay? And how I'm okay with it is because after I calmed down after being incensed like a lot of people were, I thought, we lost game 1 in 2011. And then Miami went boom, 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 and they were the better team. We lose game 1. We're the better team. Let's go boom, 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 boom. So let's take what happened to us before, and since we won and then we lost the series, how about us losing game 1 and winning the series? Because here are the things that I think are going to be different. Let's take this quick break, and then we'll come back after this and go over this. You want to thank SRB if you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning. Hit our guys up over at SRB, Mark Long and the guys. If you have a new building that you're building or a new complex, they will take care of you and make sure everything is laid out properly. Also, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit these guys up. They will make sure everything is great. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guys up over there, my guy Jose Fierro. And then also, if you do have if you're remodeling a house, you have a bunch of trash, hit the guys up. They can load up the dump truck. Boom, go take it right to the dump for you and be done. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. An equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. So you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, can't miss it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur, which I was just at the other day. It's one of my favorite places. I love going over and messing with Eddie and the guys over there. They're fantastic. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Some good amount of stuff, guys. Go in by the Dillards there at Penn Square Mall or Dillards or Woodland Hills Mall. Tell them that that y'all are watching it at Matt Clark Century from watching the Matt Clark, the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. And they come by and they'll give you a few samples for some stuff for you. So go by and check them out. Okay? Now, that being said, let's talk about this. I went over what happened, I believe, what happened in the game. And it's okay. Why is it okay? It's one game, guys. Number one. Number two, like I said, let's rewrite history from what happened to us before. Number three, we were off for 7 days. Okay? Off for 7 days. If you think we were not going to be rusty, we were. Remember the Denver series? Remember the Memphis series, games one? How terrible we were? How we were not terrible in game one against Minnesota because we were used to playing and got into rhythm again, which we lost the rhythm of playing. Next point. I think that SGA, the last time, listen, I like it when he plays bad. I know that sounds terrible. I like when he plays bad because he comes back and he murders you the next two games. J-Dub will come back. He will be better in game two. Chet will be better in game two. And those three are the ones that matter. Because we had talked about this before. Remember, before the series, we talked about Halliburton and Siakam versus SGA, Chet, and J-Dub. Those are the matchups. Those are the things that separate the two teams. And we talked about that. Yeah, I get it. He's kind of like Kobe. Yes, he is. He's a lot. I saw this. In fact, Angel, I saw this thing about SGA and Kobe and the different moves that they make and how much they are alike as scoring-wise. SGA is just not as Kobe defensively. He's not that. And he's he's more of a high-precision late-game scorer on less shots. So he's more proficient than Kobe is at the end of games as far as scoring. Yes, it might be inefficient, but it's impactful. Yes, it is, but he's more efficient than Kobe was. But he doesn't give you the defensive end that Kobe did. Kobe's going to go do – Kobe is Dort and SGA. SGA is just SGA. He's not Dort. And Kobe was both. Michael was both. LeBron is not. LeBron is LeBron, but he's not Michael. I mean, he's not Lou Dort, or he's not the best defensive player, whoever was on the Cavs team or the Lakers team or the Heat team or whatever. That's not who he is. He is LeBron, but he's not the other side. Where Kobe and Michael were just as killer defensively as they are offensively. Now, that's not to say that SJ is a slouch. That's not what I'm saying, but he's not Dort. And Kobe and Michael were Dort. And they were Kobe and Michael. So if SJ was SJ and Dort, then he's more of a comparison to Kobe and Michael. But offensively, he's definitely a match to Kobe. But he doesn't have – Kobe is going to – and Michael both. At the end of games, they're like, screw that. I'm going to take the shot. In the last 3 minutes, they ain't passing. Unless they see something, they're going to hit a wide-open guy. And by that time, they've already scored 3 or 4 times in a row, which is my point with SGA. Bro, just score 3 or 4 times in a row. Then go ahead and pass the ball. Because then there's no pressure on them to make something because they're in rhythm and they don't feel anything. They can just play. But when you put pressure on our others, which is J-Dub, which is Chet, which is Kason, which is Caruso, which is Wiggins, which is Ihart, which is Dort, you put pressure on those guys to make plays, you're in trouble. They have to make plays by being relaxed, not really like they're needing to, but they're just helping out versus needing to. When you're helping out versus needing to do something, those are two different mentalities. Angel says, I am tripping, but is someone hurt or does A.J. Mitchell always play? Isn't he a rookie? Yes. But this is why he played, Angel, and I've been griping about this for a while. That second lineup of J-Dub, Kason, Caruso, Wiggins, and Ihart or Chet doesn't have a ball handler. And J-Dub would be exposed trying to bring the ball up the floor. Kason would be exposed. Kason would be exposed. Those guys trying to bring the ball up the floor because they're picking us up 94 feet. So that's the issue of what they were doing to us. And A.J. Mitchell is the ball handler, and he just alleviated all of that. There was no problem with him doing it. But the problem is he hasn't played. And that's what I was when he came back. The first thing I said was put put AJ in this lineup. And let's get him rolling for the playoffs. That's one of the first things I said. But Dagnall didn't play him, didn't play him, didn't play him, didn't play him, and in game 20, whatever it is, he's playing now. All of a sudden, dude, you took a guy off the bench who ain't play. He ain't used to playing now. They ain't used to playing with him. You completely ruined the flow of the game for everybody because you didn't put A.J. Mitchell in there 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, or a month ago when you should have. When he got back, you play him with this group, get him in rhythm. So the second quarter, the fourth quarter, you've got a ball handler, but that's not what you did. And then last night, once again, just like Game 5 against Dallas, you change lineups. You mess up you mess up your starting lineup. Now you're playing guys who ain't played. Then Carlisle threw the wrench at you, to put the twist on you by going small, which is one of our benefits, but you didn't have the right five. K. Rich needs to be your five, and he's played really well. He can knock down the three. He can do a bunch of other things, and he's playing better. The Kaysen is better for what he's doing, but you have no bigs, and they dominated us, which is what happened. You have 5 little guys. You have nobody who can really play center to get in there and fight Siakam. It's not what you had. Great move by Carlisle. But once again, what did we say? He was going to outcoach Dagnall. We've already said that. Here's the matchups. We have them in players. We don't have them in coaching. Carlisle's already won a chip. Remember, Dallas beat Miami, upset a team that Miami was way better than Dallas. I said, yeah, I didn't believe that. They were going by the big three, which was LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh. I wasn't that narrative. To me, it was like Dallas. You had Jason Kidd, and you had Terry, and you had oh my God, Nowitzki. And Nowitzki was the best player on the court for both teams. And at that point, LeBron was still coming, but I think Nowitzki was better than him at that point, Nowitzki. So that had a lot to do with it. We are better than them. Just like when we played Miami, we were better. Miami was better than us, but we won game 1. We stole it because they weren't ready to play, and we beat them. And then the next game they came out what? Boom, they busted us. Game 3, boom, they busted us. Game 4, Kevin Durant misses that little mid-range because he got bumped a little bit. Like I said, yeah, but you still got to make that shot, KD. When he's a rookie, it bothered him. When he's older, now 6 or 7 years in the league, he'd knock that shot down with no problem. That's the difference. And our fans were sitting there screaming about KD, blah, blah. Stop it with KD. KD's our best player ever. Sean Marion. They had Sean Marion on that team, Angel, too, as well. And then I know he went to Phoenix right after that. But they had Sean. Was Sean on that team with them? With that ugly jump shot he had, that whatever that shot was that he had was ugly. Was he on that team too, Angel? I guess if you say it was, I don't really. He may have been on that team, but I don't know if he was. Oh, you're right, because he left Phoenix and he came to Dallas. So you're right about that. You're right about that. But God, his shot was ugly, wasn't it? I don't even know how he made that thing, but whatever. Doesn't matter how it looks as long as it goes in. So when I look at this series, those are the matchups and how I look at it. Okay, I'm not really worried about us so much as in he was on 2010, 2011. Okay, I wasn't so worried about whether we're going to win the series. I said I thought it was going to be 5 or 6. I said that. I knew they were going to beat us twice. Now, am I worried about us going to get a road victory in Indiana? No. I'm not worried about that. The Knicks went and got them game 3. They can be had at home. But when I showed you the stats of what they shot versus what we shot, they had 25 turnovers. And remember, they had 18 turnovers in the first half, and we were up 6 because we were shooting so bad. Not because of their defense. It's because we couldn't make shots. Third quarter, SJ knocks down that 3 to put us up 9. And in the fourth quarter, We go up 15. That gave us that energy going up. We go up 15. They call timeout. Coach doesn't put SJ in the game. That was the determining factor, and I said that in our chat, in our deal. That was the determining factor right there. I had it in my notes. That was the determining factor of the game right there, because that's who he is. That's who he is. That's who he's been. When it comes down to it, when the opposing team changes and they put in their best player, he puts in Dort. No, you put your best player in there. Every time he does that, when he matches, like in the last series, he did that, we won. Denver series, he did that. If you put, whenever that timeout came, you should have brought SJ in, put J-Dub on the bench for 3 to 4 minutes, and we win the game. We blow them out by 30. That's exactly what would have happened. Exactly what would have happened. But instead, you do what you do, and you're 2 minutes too long. You can't read the room. You don't understand lineups. You have no feel for the game whatsoever. That's why you can't read the room, because you have no feel for the game. That's how we got beat. He just doesn't. And it's okay. That's who he is, and we get it. And people get mad at me about saying it. But you know what? You get mad at me all day. You can be mad at me every time. You get mad and say whatever the hell you want. But guess what? I am right. You may not like my take, but I am right. Because I've watched us 270 times. I've watched us. I know who he is. I know what he does. I point out his weaknesses for us, things that we have to fix, that he needs to fix. Because these are things that are going to cost us. I said that in the Denver series. I said it this. I've said it every time. Remember, after game 4 in Memphis, I said, with 7 seconds left, we're up 2. He puts the ball in J-Dub's hands. What the hell is you doing? You do that again, you're going to cost us. Game 1 against Denver, what did he do? 3 seconds, 5, 4 seconds, 7, 8 seconds, whatever. You put the ball in the wrong person's hands. He missed both free throws with 4 seconds left. You don't put it in SJ's hands. And exactly what I said was going to happen, happened. And what I'm telling you, I'm right. And you can be mad at me, but I'm not wrong. And like my guys tell me after the storm, I have a friend, Rashawn, he laughs. He goes, man, I made so much money off you because I pay attention to what you say, and I go bet what I'm telling. I'm just telling you. I'm not. I want us to win, but I'm telling you, if he doesn't change these things, this is what's going to happen. So don't get mad at me because you think I'm a hater when I'm telling you if he doesn't do this, this is what's going to happen, and then exactly what I say happens, but yet you're mad at me and calling me a hater. Because what I'm telling you is about to happen happens, and you're mad at me. How's that? How am I the bad guy? How am I the bad guy? When I'm sitting here saying this is what's going to happen if we don't do this, if he does this, how am I the bad guy? How am I a hater? Because I'm pointing out what the issues are, and they are the issues, but I'm a hater. How is that? I got Thunderalls made specifically so that I can wear them to support the team, but I'm a hater. Now, I do take responsibility because we were 5-0 with my Thunderalls, but I made one crucial mistake. I did not wear my bucket hat. And I always wore the bucket hat with them with my white AF1s. That's not what I had on. That's my bad. And I take responsibility for that because I'm very superstitious. But I can promise you, on Saturday, is that right? Sunday. On Sunday, I can promise you, my bucket hat will be on, my suit, my Thunderalls will be on, and I will have my bucket hat and my AF1s. I can promise you. My white AF1s, my black bucket hat, and my Thunderalls. I will have them on. And we were going to win. But I'm not going to wear them game 3 or game 4. I'm not going to do that because we lost the last time I did it. So I'm not doing that. You don't change what you do. So I'm not doing that. But I take responsibility for that as well. Just like I take responsibility for telling you guys, if we don't do this, this is what's going to happen, and it happens, I take responsibility for that. But not as a hater, as a person who's trying to say, I'm an alarmist. I'm saying here's our weaknesses. And as I said before, If you think I know their weaknesses, you don't think the hell they don't know. And those weaknesses, exactly what I said, got exploited last night. And they're going to get exploited again and again and again until he changes. Game 1 against Minnesota, completely flipped the script on them. They weren't ready for it. We won. Put SJ in the second quarter, take J-Dub out. Take J-Dub out in the 5-minute, 4-minute mark of the first and third quarters. Fourth quarter, put SJ in instead of playing J-Dub the whole. Especially if J-Dub is not playing good, I don't understand your thinking. If he's not on his A game and he's not playing good, take him out, give him a few minutes, let us get into a run, and then we get into a flow, bring him back in. I don't understand you're staying with him. Take him out. Let him get into a flow. Let us get into a flow and bring him back like you did in the Minnesota series in game 1. We won. And I can promise you, all you people, all you haters, if you do exactly what I'm saying to do, we will not get beat. Every time he's done what I've said to do, where J-Dub plays 5 to 6 minutes less than him, we win. Because I'm telling you, here's what needs to happen. If he will do that, we will win, especially in the fourth quarter. Take J-Dub out for 3 to 4 minutes, coach. That's all I'm asking. The one time you did against Minnesota, we won. We're going to win if you put him on the bench for 3 to 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. Bring SJ in. We're up 15. Boom, perfect time. Timeout's called. Bring SJ in. Completely change the lineups. So anything that the coach just did to adjust to your lineup just went out the window because now you have a whole different lineup. So now his timeout is useless because he's preparing for something. Instead of him preparing what you had and then you don't change and then what he called timeout to fix, he fixed because you didn't make the adjustment that he made. He's playing chess, you playing checkers. But if you had pulled SGA out on that timeout he came out, now you have a different lineup. You have SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, and Ihart or Chet. And he comes out there with 15 out 15, and the lineup he just did to adjust to the lineup you had. But what does he know? He's talking to the other coaches. Hey, if he gets on a run, don't worry about it. He's not going to change lineups after you call timeout with the 9-minute mark, 8-minute mark. He's not going to call timeout. Don't worry about it. He's going to keep the same players in. They know that. You think they don't tell him that? Everything I'm saying, you don't think they tell him that? You think they don't see what I see? You may not see it, but I promise you they do. And Carlisle adjusted, and he didn't. He waited 2 minutes too long to make an adjustment. We got beat. That being said, SJ still has to make the shot at the end of the game. And I believe that had we not wait 7 days, SJ makes that shot, number one. Number two, 25 turnovers for them, we beat them by 30. 25. Remember, we have 4 games that we won by 30 points in the playoffs. 25 turnovers, we normally turn those into points. We didn't. 7 days off killed us. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna say this. I'm not despondent. To me, this is how I'm gonna look at it. We lost game 1, and they beat us 4 times. So we won game 1. We lost 4 in a row last time we were in the finals. Let's see what happens now. We lose game 1 this time. Let's see if it changes. If it doesn't, then that doesn't mean anything. But like I said, I think it's going to go 6 games. That's what I said. I think we're going to beat them on their floor. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it could go 5 or 6. I've said that all along. I think it's more like going to be 6 because I did not underestimate them. They're better than what you think. Our defense is going to do what it does. It's going to turn them over. And we're going to make shots once we get in this group. And as I've said, the longer the series goes, the better for the Thunder. I know that sounds weird, but the longer the series goes, the better for us. Because once we start playing and getting into a flow, it's going to be over for them. They can't keep up with us. But our guys get into the flow, and that's what we are not into the flow yet. And it's going to take us a while. That's why I said 5 or 6 games. And I said that before because we took too long off. I don't like how the NBA did that, but I do understand why they did it because they were saying if the games go 7, this is when the game is going to start. You have to do your TV programming and all that. I just didn't like it because I knew it's going to affect us, and it did. So, anyway, that being said, that's enough, but this is what's funny. This is what I'm saying. Here's what the NBA thinks. Okay, guys? This is what the NBA thinks. And I'm laughing because I did this, and I just kind of laughed when I saw this. Okay. Sunday, Thunder, 10.5-point favorites. We were 9.5-point favorites in game one, which I thought was high because we were going to be rusty. We're 10.5-point favorites. What does Vegas think is going to happen? Vegas thinks we're going to come out and smash them because we gave them game one. Remember the same thing happened in Denver series. So they're telling you what they think is going to happen. 7 o'clock Sunday night, 10.5-point favorites. We were 9.5-point favorites last night. I'm telling you that we know we're going to be, and we'll be fine. It's one game. It's one game. But, like I said, do I think we can't go win on their court? Hell yeah, we can go win on their court. And my kudos and hat off goes to, if I had one, tip my hat to Carlisle and what they did. Okay? And I tip my hat to them. And it's okay. It really is. One game, don't get all mad, don't get all pissed off. It's one game. And I'm going to say this. Why don't you all collectively as a group go, hey, we lost, we won game one in the last time we were in the finals, and then we got swept after that. Now we've lost game one. Let's see what happens. Let's change our mentality. Let's change how we think about it. Let's see if that works, okay? That's how I'm looking at it. So let's change. Do I think we're going to beat them in game two? Yeah. Do I think we can beat them in game three? Yes. And so we'll see. So anyway, I'll see you guys Sunday night on After the Storm, after the game, and after the storm. So we'll see what happens on that, okay? And everybody else, like I said, 10.5-point favorites on Sunday night. I'm sure we're going to handle our business 7 o'clock on ABC. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be okay. All right? So keep your head up. Go out and hit some golf balls. If you're mad or whatever, go out and get your driver out and just hit a bunch. Go to the driving range and just hit it. Denver was the real Western Conference Finals. Yes, I agree with you, Angel. They were. But remember, Angel, if we beat Denver game one, it's not going game seven. Then remember in game three, SJ couldn't do what? Close the door by making shots, remember? What did he do in game four? He made the shots in game four. He still missed some, but he made them when he needed to make them. What happened in game five? Dort makes 3 threes. We get back in the game. SJ scores a layup. SJ throws an alley-oop. SJ gets an N1. SJ knocks down a 3. SJ gets 2 free throws. He scores 12 of our last 13. Guess what happens? Or accounted for. Guess what happens? We win. So that's why I'm not – what I thought was going to happen was going to happen. We were going to be rusty, and we were. I was worried about – I still thought we could probably win the game, but once again, coaching matters. Coaching matters. But let's keep our heads up. It's one game. It's one game, okay? And you don't get all excited after game two. It's just 1-1. Now you got to go back and get one there, either games 3 or game 4. Hey, baby, what you doing? My fat boy's right here. What you doing, baby? His big self. That being said, hey, everybody go out there, have a good day. Go play some golf ball. Go play some golf. Go play some golf. Get frustrated at something else.